Capricorn 9, an angel carrying a harp. Well, this image is traditional within Christianity to indicate heaven. The idea being that when we die, we go to heaven and we take our place amongst a choir of angels, all of whom are playing a harp. The idea is that the music of the harp is harmonious and beautiful and expressive of a kind of a magical imagination and love, and it's symbolic. So the sense here is whether or not we can actually find attunement to the music of life. Another metaphor. The idea is indicating that many different songs are being sung by each and every person who is alive. We're all singing our own song. And it sounds like a clashing and a banging, and there's so much noise. The noise of a city, for example, shows us that we're not really in harmony. Whereas the sounds of a country setting, even though they don't really tune into each other on any obvious level, bird song, they don't try and tune into the other birds that are singing. But nevertheless, it all comes together and sounds lovely. Sounds perfect to our ear, a perfect harmony of tone and of rhythm. And it's not. The bird song and the other natural sounds that we hear, they're not in any rhythm and they're not in any harmony, but they sound so. And this is the mystery that we're looking at here. That when everyone is just doing what they want to do, when they want to do it, then the natural sound of being alive is music to our ears. We can find out what to do about making our awareness of this music of life more upfront and central, so that we can actually listen out for it in every situation. And when we do that, the very act of listening to find the undercurrents, the mood, the atmosphere, the zeitgeist, this kind of sense that we have that rhythms come up and they go down and other rhythms come in and they interact, and sometimes there's this and sometimes there's that, and this is what an orchestra is doing. An orchestra led by a conductor is actually balancing all of the various sounds that can be made within the orchestra. And life is just like that. There's an orchestra of billions of people all making their own sounds. And if it's well managed, then this can be a very beautiful orchestral piece. And when it's badly managed, the clashings and bangings of discordant sounds are what we experience. And I think the mystery really is that we can change what we hear by our attitude of listening. This way of being, to be in grace, this develops an attitude of listening to life. Then we respond to what we've heard. So we notice what is before we take affirmative action. We know what we are, where we are, what is the music of this particular place and time, what's the atmosphere, what's the tone of this moment. We tune into it. It's a deeply feminine mystery, and perhaps this is the deepest feminine mystery. We just listen to it all, and we get a sense of what is life right now before responding and taking our own course through that. Now, the secret that we're looking at is how to do that, how to find a place of grace within us, how to find how to be with that constantly, or at least most of the time. And the answer is given. It is suggested that when we're in that state of grace, we are inspiring to other people. So there's the first clue. What do we do which inspires others? How are we when others seem impressed with us in a way which is loving and harmonious and innocent, that kind of being impressed, like everyone's a little bit more open and happy. How are we, and how can we be that way so that we inspire that condition in other people? That's a clue. And I think the answer is found, and we're taught in Capricorn 9 that the answer is found when we tune into this music of the spheres and feel excitement. This is the real major clue in life. We're supposed to be excited by it. It's an exciting thing, life. And if we're not feeling exciting, then we're not listening to the mood of the moment. It is enthusiasm and excitement and desire, these kind of electrical feelings of vibration and vibrancy and vitality. These are our experience of attunement to the essential music of the moment. So if we're not feeling enthusiastic right now, then we're not getting it. If we're not excited to be doing what we're doing, or really delighted to be seeing what we're seeing, then we're just not quite there. We need to listen a little bit more closely and be willing to hear sounds that we may not be used to. This is one of the things that we have to understand, that the range of sounds that we're subject to is far beyond anything our imagination has come up with yet. And without that full range of sounds, then the full orchestral piece of this moment is not appreciated. And it may not even be in harmony. This is the thing, that we need all of it to be the perfect harmony of life. And to take a little bit away might distort the sound, might not make for the correct harmonious balance of the music of life. And we can take this on the level of looking out at the news and seeing what's going on in the world today. Or we could take it into our own personal lives and notice that we're out of alignment right now. We're not feeling enthusiasm very often. We don't feel excited to get up in the morning. Okay, so we need to retune. That's what a musician does. If the music's out of kilter with the band, they find that they might need to retune their instrument. So we retune the instrument until it's got that bell-like sound, like Z, it's just in tune. And we can actually get ourselves in tune by following our desire nature and feeling enthusiasm when we do. And if we're not doing those two things, we're not following the music, because the music is made known to us by our desire nature and our feelings of enthusiasm to be doing what we're doing, being what we're being. And that's the clue we need. And if we follow that clue, we get to experience ourselves as an important component of the orchestra of life, the music of life.